Hello, glad to be on here today, and this is Anthony, and I will be talking about the portable depth tracking system for directional drilling as supplied by Mezintel. The topic of interest is on quick recalibration of the encoder. The image you see on the top right corner is the minimum configuration of the depth tracking system with two core sensors. One of those is the hook load sensor and the other is the encoder sensor. The image below that is an expanded view of the encoder sensor. Now, the reason why you would need to do a recalibration of the encoder sensor is in the event of a power outage. And when that happens, the software will flash a warning. First of all, the connection status will show as grayed out, meaning that there's no connection, and then there's going to be a yellow dialog box that comes up to inform you that the connection has indeed been lost and that the calibration may not return. In which case, if the calibration does not return, you have a procedure to quickly restore it called the quick recalibration procedure, which will be covered in the next slide. Okay, so at this point we are ready to do the recalibration of the encoder, and we have already seen the warning from the previous slide that you would get in the event of power outage, which would require you to do a quick recalibration procedure. The situation shown here is where the power has been restored and now the software is able to connect to the data acquisition system. You can see the indicator connected being green there, and then you'll get a flashing indicator that the calibration has been lost, in which case you can now do this procedure. Okay, so you're going to go next. Once you're in the calibrate tab, you can go next, and everything will be restored based on what you entered before, all those settings that you had there. You can verify that as you go, and the hook load table will be saved for you, so you won't have to do anything here. You can just go next. The pulley factors and the threshold value that you had entered will all be restored, and the number of stages for the encoder calibration will be recalled, including all your units. You can go next from there, and here is where you get the encoder calibration table that required you to enter those counts and to measure the position of the block corresponding to those counts. In this case, you have a shortcut now because you already did that before, so you can go recalibrate and you can enter the depth or the position of the block from the rig floor. And in this case, if you go, I'll assume that you go and measure it to be 8.20, and you can go OK. The software will calculate the counts corresponding to what you just entered, and you go next from here and you submit the calibration table, and the data acquisition system will receive it and it will reply that everything is calibrated, and that marks the end of your quick recalibration procedure without having to go and do it again on the rig floor. So that's the advantage of this, but it requires that you already calibrate once, and then you can redo it like this if you have a power outage and you're trying to restore the calibration. Okay.